Welcome to Rock and Roll. I'm Robert Madoy. Now, it's been another jam-packed week in the world of rugby. Here to get us over the try line are Philip Kiboijana and David Mutaka. And guys, I hope you're prepped to pick and drive.
Not to the best of fitness, but we will do our best.
Definitely ready.
Okay, here's what we have on the program for you.
It's David versus Goliath as the defending champions, Hana Mix, get set to take on debutants Kololo Senior Secondary School in the school's Rugby League final. The Protector Rugby Series is shaping up to be a haven for veteran players. We talk to halfback Faizo Gama about being part of that statistic. And Hellen Gizamba tells us why the Lady Cranes are confident about running the show at the Car Sevens in the Kenyan township of Machakos.
Lots of luminaries up for discussion later on, but we start with players that are cutting their teeth. Now, we're into the home stretch of the school's rugby league, and the two schools still standing are Hana Mix and Kololo Senior Secondary School. And David, who would have thought that a Johnny come lately like Kololo Senior Secondary School would make the grade for the final at the first time of asking?
Definitely, I think very few people would have written that script, and it started from the shocks right early in the league, and they've kept their form, and they did come to the final with the resounding. I think they put their hand up for that trophy with that victory over Namiliango.
Yeah. And going into the final, they're taking on Hana Mixed.
Yes.
How do you?
Taking on Hana Mixed in the final, I think it will be down to the coaching. Robert Seguia versus, I think I saw Makmot coaching the Kololo school. I don't know if he's a coach or he's just a stand-in or just passing by. I think it will be down to the coaching. They showed some very, very good ability to win the game. Yeah. But for me, what was a bit of a concern is that they are quite excitable, and that does not win finals. You need to keep your calm and your focus all through the game. Anyway, at 33-0, it's easy to see why they almost threw out their game plan and didn't score any points in the second half, which would be a concern for the coach. Yeah. Yeah.
And Philip, the traditional schools, they've been chasing shadows in this year's schools rugby league. What do you think they need to do to revive their flagging fortunes?
I think when, like the time we had Mutevi on this show, excuse me, he talked of Namiliango not having that policy of retaining players, like SMAC did, and SMAC, as much as it lost, was a better side. Yeah. Now, when you compare Namiliango to Kololo had a number of players featuring for clubs here, the likes of Ijongat, and Ojok James, and this is because of the school's policy also of giving scholarships and all. And if Namiliango wants to stay dominant in schools rugby like it has been over the years, it's going to have to rethink that policy of retaining players.
But if you look at their under 16 and under 14 sides, how have they been faring? I know Namiliango, one of the sides, was ejected at the toss of a coin.
It's not been much of a different story. If you look at the under 16 and under 19 for Namiliango, it's the same script. And even the current under 19, I mean, before the boys that were there left, you'd mention a name. In Chimono's year, you'd say there's James Chimono. You'd say there's, what's his name? This fly half for Pirates?
Ivan Magomo.
Ivan Magomo. Yeah. But right now, you can't mention a name in Namiliango, in the under 19, in the under 16. So unless they do something, it's going to be the same storyline.
Okay, interesting that. Let's move on now, because the hands of time are being turned back. All brooms have proven to be effective at sweeping clean in the ongoing Protector Rugby Super Series. We've been talking to one such old broom that swept the Crocs away last weekend.
What, about 21 years down the road, I am still on this pitch hustling. She's called Ruby, so when she's about 5, she'll come watch my games, and I want to see what Daddy does best. Rugby is a lovely game. I love rugby. It's always good playing against your brother, good and bad. Okay, you do not want to see him hurt, but at the same time, you have your commitments to your teammates. My love affair at rugby, it's been a beautiful affair. I started my Form 1 in King's College Budo. I actually started as a hooker, and then I flank, and then finally I found the position of my life, scrum half. Willpower, the will to continue. Of course, I can't dispute my God has helped me, and no major injuries I've suffered. My parents have been there for me, and the strive to succeed on this pitch and be the best number 9 that has ever been in Uganda. I'm still striving for that. I think I've played my part for the Rugby Cranes. I think it's only right that you have new talents coming, which are many right now in Uganda. The likes of Davis Chewalabia coming at the position of number 9, which is good to see them grow. It gets simpler with experience. All right. It's a position that involves a lot of thinking, distribution. Basically, you, the 10, and the 8 determine the flow of the game. I've never been so emotional in the game like I had for that game. Cobs is our biggest rivals. Anyone who knows rugby knows Cobs and Heathens. We're neck to neck, and those are one of the most. I live for those games. That's what I always tell my coach Brian. So that was me and the Cobs game. With the Protector game last weekend, Sogi is an amazing coach. He has done a lot with our fitness. All right, so that was one of the games whereby right now I feel pretty fit. One of the fittest moments of my life, actually. And it was a game where we're trying to show the young players on pitch that, you know what, even after 21 years of rugby, you can throw the ball and you can run up and down like an 18-year-old boy. In my family, we are actually 5, all right? One girl, Alisa, but she tried rugby, but I think the love for her hair, man, she could not jump into so much. So my other brothers, it started with Ibra and I, okay? And from there, Athio joined us. What kept us so much, or what drove this love for rugby, is the support we also had from our parents. My dad, Ali and Farid and Yango, they really backed us up, okay? They supported us as much as they thought it was a dangerous game. They supported all of us, their boys, and said, guys, you know what, go and do this. And yeah, so many years down the road, we're still running up and down, a bunch of brown guys on pitch, and having a good time. Yeah, to all the rugby supporters, guys who come support rugby, man, big ups, guys. Good. Thank you for showing up in numbers. Keep on coming down, supporting rugby in general. All right, and I wish the national team all the best. Okay, I know we have a big mountain to climb, but I'm sure with the coaches, Magona and Fred, I know we'll be back in 1A very soon. That's all we want. We brought Cranes from there to up. We want us back up. We can't be down. That's not Cranes. All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Faizo Gama there. And David, I should say Faizo Gama, like wine, you know, it keeps getting better with age. He really turned in a blinder last weekend, didn't he?
Yes, he came off the bench as an impact sub, and really, I think, proved to be the difference at the end of the day in terms as the Crocs were wearing down. He moved the ball quickly. He made the right decisions, made the right calls. I think he really did represent himself well. Okay.
And Philip, Faizo Gama is not the only veteran player who is enjoying an Indian summer. We have seen quite a couple of players, quite a number of the old players, such as Brian Tabaruka, Simon Wakalia. I know you'd take exception to that, but he's getting there. Tony Lujan, and a number of them, they've basked in the same.
Yeah, of course, there's Chris Lubanga there as well.
Yeah.
But that's very true. And you look at one of the games, the first game was Magicians and Fimbo? Protectors. Yeah. And the contention for man of the match was actually between Dr. Tony Stone Luja and Brian Tabaruka. Oh. That's how amazing this is. I mean,
Fimbo versus Magicians, yes.
Fimbo versus Magicians. They've come up to break. I mean, by the time you have man of the match, 2 panels, one gives you Stone and the other gives you Brian. It also caught our eyes. Yeah. They are playing the rugby of their life. I think they had missed some games. They came in a lot with a lot of zeal. They are saying some people didn't watch us. They don't know what we're about, especially Brian. And it's amazing. They are doing well there.
But should it be a concern that the young players are sort of being eclipsed by the veterans, the guys who have been there and done that?
I don't think it's a concern. The concern would be if he's fitter than you. if he's fitter than you as a young player, you should be concerned. But Brian has done it all. I mean, he's played from 99, 2000. Yeah. He has played fullback in terrible conditions. He has played great games. He has done it all. So, as a young player, I think the opportunity is to learn from them. And you'll see Matfield. I mean, Matfield has come in for the Bulls. I know he'll talk about it all night. But what he comes in and does, the other players can't do. But in terms of what he brings as a fitness, longevity, staying power, is different. But I think it's an opportunity for the young players to learn from them. And learn not from the sideline, but actually see them do it and say, how do I learn that? Because it's about the key decisions at vital moments, taking the game forward. And some of those things do come with time. Yeah. And some of the, just knowing when's the right decision, seeing space, deciding this versus that, those things come with experience.
And David mentioned fitness. You look at Gama. He mentioned Sogi being an amazing coach, and he says even the fitness levels he gets you to, he says these kids were shocked he was running side to side. And so at the end of the day, the kids, it also shows them, keep your body well, work out often. It takes very little to get into rhythm again.
Okay. Well, let's take a break now. When we return, we'll have plenty to go through.